Well, hello everybody out there at Absolutely Gospel. I am Gus Gaches, and I have brought some friends today for a very special reason. We had something incredible happen at the National Quartet Convention today. This afternoon at the afternoon session, the SGMA inducted our good friend Danny Funderburk into the Gospel Music Hall of Fame.
Go Danny.
And I have to say, it was long overdue.
Well deserved.
And so deserved. Not just for his singing, but for the fact that he is such an encourager. I know personally, there have been times when I've been like, okay, why am I doing this? And I'd get a little text from him just out of the blue going, hey man, it's Danny. Or get a message on my phone, which I asked one of the younger guys on the bus how to save that. I still have them so that I can listen back to him and hear him say, you know, hey man, just thinking of you, praying for you, hope you're doing good, keep doing what you're doing. Every one of us here has been touched by this man's ministry, and so for him to go in is such an incredible thing. And we wanted to send out a special message to the listeners and people that watch this, but also to you, Danny, to let you know that we love you, and we know that your heart is breaking because you couldn't be here today, but we know you're here in spirit. Guys?
Hey, Gus, you know, Danny has heard my dad sing tenor. So I've always kidded Danny that, Danny, now my dad's got to be my favorite.
Yes.
But you're next in line. And I always kid Danny about that. But Danny Funderburk, out of all the tenors in gospel music over the years, I have probably studied his voice more than any other. He was a guy, man, he could just bust the high notes, but then turn around and take a slow song like For What Earthly Reason.
So pretty.
Like just sing it so pretty. And Danny, thank you so much for all the wonderful songs that you have sang over the year and how you have touched my life over the years with your singing.
I said this, the first Southern Gospel CD that I ever bought was Symphony of Praise. So when I got to For What Earthly Reason, that was the song that
Buddy, you knew how to start it.
I ran out to Gospel Supply House in Tuscaloosa, Alabama, and bought that track, and I was like, that's the voice that I want to emulate. So I loved it, loved
Too
it.
cool.
So thank you, Danny, for the influence you've had on me.
Awesome.
You know, there's plenty we can say about his singing, but it was mentioned earlier, Danny, being Danny, is a ministry alone. As a young singer who didn't get to see Danny, as everyone knows him, with the cathedrals, obviously his voice was something special to hear, but Danny, as an encourager to me in my ministry, both in a group and as a soloist now, that speaks volumes. And it's the same situation. You'll feel down, and just as random as anything, Danny will send you a text, and he changed your life, and he's continually doing that for me. And but I mean, a singing machine he is and always will be. But Danny being Danny alone is what I love.
Yeah. As has already been said so many times, what an encourager. And you know, when you talk to him, when he's talking to you, he makes you feel like you're the only person in the room.
Yeah.
And that's a gift, because we all know there's a lot of people who try to talk to us, and I'm the world's worst, man. I have to zone in and make sure, because if somebody walks by, I'm like squirrel, you know. But he never was that way. It's always he's honed in on you, and I appreciate that. But of course, I've always been a cathedral fan. But the first time I did ever see Danny, looking back, was with the Singing Americans, because I'm from North Carolina, and they would always come to Burlington and sing in Graham, North Carolina.
And he's the oldest here, guys.
That's right. I am the oldest.
Yeah. Danny was with Singing Americans.
I don't know.
Hey, and by the way, while we're joking around, everybody says that Danny texts him. I feel slighted. I never got it.
Go ahead, Chris.
You didn't get that? You didn't get that?
So, man, with the Singing Americans, he was incredible, obviously, and it was just like at the gate, he was just a freak of nature.
Yeah.
You know? And then, of course, I was always a Kirk Talley fan, still am. What a communicator.
Oh.
So when he left the cathedrals, there was a hole there for me, and I'm like, what's going to fill the hole? And then Danny comes along, and you're like, well, okay, we're talking polar opposite, really, in regards to style. But as you mentioned a while ago, he could sing the power notes, the D's, and whatever else he sang. But then...
And then immediately...
Yeah, George would call it his bus tone.
Yes.
He said, Danny, I love that bus tone, because it's just, I guess whenever they're sitting around the bus, the kind of tone he would use, so it wouldn't deafen everybody, you know what I'm saying? But an unbelievable friend. Really, just somebody that we've all looked up to, obviously, and have paved the way. So we just pray that we can do the same.
Yeah,
I believe we all feel that way.
Absolutely.
For young ones coming along, maybe they'll watch us and we can change a life too.
Yeah, absolutely. So, Danny, we love you, and thank you for everything that you have done and continue to do for this music.
We love you.
Love you, Danny.
Love you, Danny.